And frankly, the fact that not even Lynette couldn't get Tomas's robot engine revving and get some emotion out of him was ridiculous. What is up, Beyond the Gates fans? Let's talk about today's Thursday episode. I don't know how the rest of you felt about today's episode, but to me, it was an odd episode. The writing was odd all the way around today. Like, a lot of it was contrived, and at least Lynette was on. She was the highlight of the episode, which coming from me is probably no surprise. But she was the strongest part of the episode, at least in my opinion, but I feel that way with the writing altogether today. I guess we will talk about the most contrived thing first, and that was Leslie being quite annoying to Anita and Vernon today at the country club. They were trying to enjoy some food at the country club, even though Anita wasn't feeling great and the chemotherapy is messing with her appetite. That's when Leslie interrupted them, and Anita was trying to avoid Leslie joining them, but Leslie's harassing them because she wants her lunch with the articulates that I guess she paid for, that I don't remember, but I guess it happened. So she wants to meet with Anita, Tracy, and Sharon to talk about her mom. And Anita was trying to tell Leslie she needs to go through the proper channels to get everyone, all the articulates, together at the same time, but Sharon and Tracy are on tour right now. Leslie was getting upset and saying that the articulates disrespected her mom and she won't be disrespected by them too. She won the lunch with them. She wants the lunch. Anita was getting more frustrated. Vernon was trying to get Leslie to leave, but Leslie sat down and joined them for lunch, saying she's going to have lunch with at least one articulate. I think my biggest problem with these scenes is they need to pick a struggle with the Leslie character. They started her off as the villain, running people down, poisoning IVs, and then they tried to humanize her. But right now, and for a while, she's kind of just a clown in many ways, and they seem to want us to. I mean, she entertains me sometimes, but episodes like today, when she's just being a clown and it's very contrived, and I don't understand the whole point of the scenes in general, it makes me question what they're doing with her. Because are we supposed to forget that she ran someone down and that she poisoned IV? Because episodes like today come across that way, even though the episode the other day ended with her throwing something at a mirror, making it seem like she might descend back into madness and back into her villainy. And then today she's a clown again. Like, please pick a struggle with Leslie. I beg the writers to do so. Anyway, Anita was getting more irritated, and Leslie was going on and on about things, how she lost her virginity to the articulates. And usually, some of these lines by Leslie will make me chuckle. But today, they were going for Leslie being annoying and annoying Vernon and Anita, but she was definitely annoying me too, because it was just so over the top and contrived. Anyway, Anita and Vernon got up to leave. Anita almost fainted at the table. They told Leslie that Anita was just lightheaded to play off the fact that she has cancer, which I don't think Leslie figured out because she's so self-involved. But since Leslie did not figure that out, I'm just wondering what the point of these scenes were today, to be honest. Maybe it was to keep the Anita and Leslie little rivalry going, maybe, but I don't know. It did not work for me today. It was quite contrived. Let's move on to Lynette so I could talk about something that I actually want to talk about. Lynette was with Tomas today. It seems as though Lynette was the one that Tomas called at the end of yesterday's episode. And Lynette keeps trying to play up the fact that she was basically a hero who saved Hayley from a mugging, which, I mean, I do like from Lynette. Tomas said that Hayley should not have met with Lynette without his knowledge because he is the attorney working on her case, and she, as in Hayley, is just a paralegal. Tomas was trying to get Lynette to plead down to no jail time but probation on this case. And Lynette was saying she's innocent. She doesn't want to take a plea deal. She wants the charges dropped completely. Lynette's doing a lot for someone who is getting pro bono work on this case. But I do think Lynette is coming across as an extremely selfish character who is always looking out for herself, looking out for number one. And, I like that from her. Lynette threatened Tomas to get Bill involved so that she can see real results on the case. And, Tomas keeps getting reamed by Bill, but Tomas seems to be the one trying to maybe really figure out what's going on between Hayley and Lynette. The problem with that for me is in these scenes where Tomas is supposed to be the smart one, apparently, that is starting to read into Hayley and Lynette, he continues to make the same boring, dumb-looking faces that he always makes. And frankly, the fact that not even Lynette couldn't get Tomas's robot engine revving and get some emotion out of him was ridiculous. So Tomas continuing to be shoehorned into storylines, it usually falls flat because his acting is always flat. And I'm sorry, I hate to harp on it like every time he's on, but it's almost impossible because it ruins the scenes. And it did it again today at many times when Lynette was trying her heart out to be the great character that she is. Anyway, Lynette did slip up with Tomas at the end. So Tomas basically caught Hayley in a lie. So Tomas will, I guess, continue to be the one to be on them for now. Like I said, like a couple weeks ago, if they're going to shoehorn Tomas into the storyline, it better end up with his death. Lynette, Hayley, or Randy, or all three, to save themselves, should have to take out Tomas and finally kill off a character that's not working. If they kill off Tomas because of the storyline, I promise I will go an entire month just talking positively about this show. I will let go of what I feel is the negatives in the writing. If they could kill off a character like Tomas that is dead weight and hurts more storylines than adds to them. Anyway, Randy ended up calling Lynette to tell her that Bill wants to have the guy who mugged Hayley behind bars. They met up and Randy went on about how Joey Armstrong is on his ass to find the mugger, and Lynette said it sounds like a you problem, not an us problem. Randy was getting sick of Lynette's attitude and said that he's not one of Lynette's marks. Lynette was telling Randy to handle his business and stop whining to her like a little bitch, which cracked me up, and another reason why Lynette was the best part of today's episode. Randy then threatened Lynette, saying that if he goes down, Lynette and Hayley are going down with him. And Lynette did seem to take that warning at the end. So a bit of a power struggle right now with Randy and Lynette. So at least something good came out of this episode. Hayley was at the hotel to start the episode FaceTiming Bill. Naomi ended up coming over to visit her. Naomi was saying that she can hate what Hayley did to her family, but she still feels for her with this whole mugging situation because Hayley could have been killed and she and Hayley used to be friends. And I just question, and I think I said this last week, Naomi should know that Hayley faked her pregnancy. Like, she has that information. She never really pushed it further, and I still don't understand why. Bill ended up finding them together, seemed pretty happy that they were getting along, but honestly, those scenes didn't really do much for me. The only other thing today was Elon and Jacob. Elon started this episode getting calls from Bill about the mugging investigation. Bill continues to bug Elon about finding the mugger, which is good continuity there. Elon wanted Jacob to update him on if he's closer to bringing the plasma ring down. And they talked about Ren, and Jacob winning that guy's trust or trying to so that he can start dropping off the plasma. And at first, Elon just could not admit that Jacob is doing a good job, which continues to be the reason we are getting this storyline, I guess, is so that Jacob can prove himself to his father. Elon was being quite condescending with Jacob per usual, talking about how he's Jacob's superior, and this case is a big one, and that Jacob's on a case with people he needs to be careful with, and they don't mess around. I guess I will say that Elon did seem very concerned about Jacob being in danger, though. So Elon was still being like a father figure, at least in these scenes. What annoyed me is that we learned that Jacob took the loyalty test for Ren that we heard about in one of the episodes. But of course, in, Beyond the Gates fashion lately, that took place off screen. We didn't get to see it. We only heard about it when he called Smitty. But the point of these scenes today, I guess, was that Jacob took his father's warnings and told Naomi he's going to have to move out while he's on this undercover assignment. He wants to make sure that Naomi is safe while he's doing this, and she can't even visit his new place. Jacob gave her a burner phone to contact him in case of an emergency, but only in case of an emergency. And then they started to have some sex at the end of the episode because it could be the last time they see each other for a while. I don't know how long they will drag out this Jacob undercover storyline. On one hand, this show does like to drag out storylines like most soap operas. On the other hand, a lot of the stories are already taking place off screen, so I don't know how you stretch out Jacob's story with it taking place off screen. But the scenes kind of fell flat for me today. I feel like a lot of Jacob and Elon's argument today was repetitive. And then to learn that part of Jacob's undercover story already took place off screen wasn't the best news of the day. So all in all today, thank goodness for Lynette. The rest of the episode, though, fell pretty flat to me, or the writing was just very weird and contrived. Hoping for a better Friday episode tomorrow.